Matty and everybody else who's listening right now, I hope you're ready for something a little bit special, because whatever about anything else, we have the two best teams in the country about to lock horns. The teams are going into their positions. Keith Higgins has gone to full back to mark Dean Rock. Paddy Durkin's gone to corner back to pick up McManaman. Keegan is on Connolly, ball in, and the game is on. It's Dublin the champions against Mayo the challengers. Mayo defending the Davin stand end away to our right, playing into the hill in the first half. And it's an early touch for Kevin McLaughlin. O'Connor, Diarmuid O'Connor, quick look up. He's going to drop it in towards the edge of the square. Andy's in around the back. Andy has it. He's there in front of McMahon and O'Sullivan. Andy swallowed up, manages to shovel it back to Parsons. And Tom Parsons, the fourth man from Charlestown, to play in an All-Ireland senior final, following in the footsteps of the flying Dr. Porrick Carney, Sean Casey, the man beside me, and Aidan Higgins. Parsons has the distinction of kicking the opening score of the 2016 All-Ireland final, and after 2.5 minutes, Mayo lead by 1 point to no
Great
score.
start, great win inside by Andy, Mike. He got smothered by Dublin.
For the gasp around the ground, Cluxton gets it away, but McMahon has the ball ripped out of his grasp. O'Shea is onto the break, and Aidan O'Shea is fouled on the 45-metre line, and there's a little bit of afters, and I think John Small is in danger of losing his jersey because two Mayo boys are hanging out of it. There's a few little flashpoints developing left and right where the free was awarded, and because Dublin got involved, Conor Lane has moved the ball in 13 metres, and Mayo now have a very kickable free right in front of the Dublin goal. There's needle, there's aggro. You can feel the tension up here on level 7 of the Hogan stand. They're in each other's faces. So much at stake. Mayo again, though, refusing to blink, and it was Philly McMahon on the way out who was stopped in his tracks, had the ball ripped out of his grasp, and I see John Small's jersey ripped down the centre. Yeah. I think he may need a replacement, and it's actually on its way right now. John Small's jersey is out of the game. Cillian O'Connor steps up to the fray, and after 8 minutes of the All-Ireland Senior Football Final, Mayo, the 3-1 outsiders, lead Dublin by 2 points to no score.
Yeah, ferocious start. Mike, what tackling by Cillian O'Connor and Aidan O'Shea. I mean, brilliant forward tackling.
The kick out from Cluxton is taken quickly, and Dublin sweep down the field. 2-3 quick hand passes. McCauley stealing in around the back. Chance of a goal, blocked, falls to Bernard Brogan! And Bernard Brogan toe pokes the first goal into the Mayo net. The initial shot was blocked. It was the shot, I think, from Kilkenny that was blocked. The ball broke across the Mayo square. Bernard Brogan stuck a boot out and toe pokes it under Clark and into the back of the net. Well, Dublin do what they do best, break at pace. It was actually Brian Fenton with the first shot, and it was actually Brogan's effort which came off the boot of Brendan Harrison, and Kevin McLaughlin has deflected it into his own net. Just watching the replay.
With David Clark, I mean, David Clark certainly cementing his all-star so far in goal for Mayo, but just worrying that Mayo need to be aware of how Fenton comes in at the back door. But, Mayo's certainly in the game. We just need to, get a bit of possession, maybe get a shot on goal now.
Keegan worked on by Dr. Sean Moffat. The left ankle was strapped and sprayed. O'Connor with the fray. Cillian O'Connor out of his hands and over the bar. And the All-Ireland final is level for the first time. Let John Small pass. Shamie O'Shea it was who took one for the team. Yeah, Conor Lane happy enough to have a word in his ear. But every time there's a slipper or a mistake, you feel something could happen. Brilliant free from Connolly. It's a goal chance. Oh, it's in. Dean Rock with Dublin's second goal. Long ball in over the top. Rock gathered it behind Boyle. He dropped it, but on its way down to the ground, he swung out his right boot and it flies into the Mayo net. Dublin's 2 goals. You couldn't make them up. What about the pass from Connolly? A free that went 50 yards over the head of Boyle. Drills it across the field towards Andy Moore, and he's the only man up. Aidan O'Shea is parked on the edge of the square. Brilliant ball from Andy to Donny Vaughan. There could be a goal chance. Vaughan, head down, drives it high and over the bar. It's Mayo's second score from play. It's their 4th of the day. It comes from the boot of Donny Vaughan, and after 24 minutes, Dublin 2 goals, Mayo 4 points. So it's Dean Rock with the free for Dublin. He's missed 3 already. He gets this one. Dean Rock out of his hands from point blank range. That is Dublin's first score they've contributed themselves. It's taken them 31 minutes, believe it or not. 2 men on the far wing, both unmarked, as Andrews hares down along the right. Paddy Andrews jinks, jives, shoots. Oh, that is some score from Paddy Andrews. Absolutely brilliant. Mayo on the counter-attack. They're getting their kickouts away quickly too. Doherty cuts in. Doherty lets fly. It's going to be close. It's dropping, and it's over the bar from Jason Doherty. He'll never let you down, Jason Doherty. 3 goals and 5 points now he's hit in Championship 2016, and some people will tell you he's not having a great summer. Nothing wrong with that. 2-5.
Yeah, fantastic score. They're great reply just at the right time. I mean, we're wondering about Mayo getting shots off there, but Doherty let fly there from about 40 metres right over the middle of Stephen Cluxton's bar. Great reply from Mayo.
I met the most famous Burrishoole man of them all, Colin Mack, before the game. Looks like he could still tog. He's in some shape. Dublin break at pace. It's work to the shooter, and it is high and over the bar from Paddy Andrews. His second point from play.
I'm just astonished. It looks like we're going to win in at half-time. If Rock kicks this, we're going to win double scores down, which is just amazing. They've been so good defensively. And, I mean, Lady Luck is not with you, but, yeah, Cluxton, I'd bomb a few balls in on top of him because he's not that confident.
I think this will be the last kick of the first half. We're in the 3rd minute of injury time. Rock off the floor, Rock over the bar. And as John said, it is hard to believe, but Mayo go in at half-time trailing by 5 points, 2-4 to 5, or at least they will if Conor Lane blows it up. Conor Lane calls for the ball. And at half-time, Mayo certainly, they aren't exactly sprinting off the field. Their steps, their legs a little heavy. They have caught 2 blows on the chin, 2 own goals, 1 from Kevin McLaughlin, 1 from Cullen Boyle. And is it any wonder now they have some soul searching to do? Yeah, thanks, Michael D. Welcome back. Can't help but think of those lines from the song about boys clinging together in all kinds of weather and not showing the white feather wherever they go. Well, in the next 35 minutes, Mayo simply cannot show the white feather. They're 5 points down heading into the second half of the All-Ireland Senior Football Final. It's 6 scores to 5. It's Dublin 2-4, Mayo 5 points. Referee Conor Lane throws the ball in. Second half is on. Mayo defending the Hill 16 goal away to our left-hand side. Dublin defending a 5-point lead. Kevin McLaughlin on the ball right from the very start. Stephen Rochford has left his perch high in the stand where he watched the first half. He's down on the line. He's watching Andy Moran shoot, and he's watching Andy Moran kick a brilliant score. Who else but Andy to lead the line in his 140th game for Mayo? He is, of course, Mayo's most capped footballer of all time, and he's kicked a brilliant score at the start of the second half. He's got his shoulder to the wheel like everybody else. Good tackle there to put McManaman to knock him off his stride. Clark's kick out comes fast, and now Shamie O'Shea to Paddy Durkin, and Dublin are inside, or rather Mayo are inside the Dublin half. Durkin, lovely sidestep. Come on! Paddy Durkin in full flight, and come on is right. Paddy Durkin hammers it high and over the bar. It's not over yet. Dublin 2-4, Mayo 7 points. 2 points in the first 3 minutes of the second half. Mayo, we know they won't wilt. We know they won't show the white feather. And here they come again. Cluxton's kick out is poor. Killian has it. Killian shoots, and Killian scores. Mayo's very own Captain Fantastic with his first point from play. And if you thought it was over, it most certainly isn't. 3 in a row for Mayo, and the All-Ireland champions are being reeled back in. Listen to the crowd. Listen to the roar all around Croke Park. Now the Mayo crowd find their voice. 35,000 of them all around the stadium, and thousands more all around the world. McManaman on the ball for Dublin, in towards Paddy Andrews. He looks lively. Dublin now looking menacing as they break at pace. McManaman drills it in, poor ball. Dean Rock went one way, the ball the other, and Higgins it was to take it into his arms and leave it out to Diarmuid O'Connor. Diarmuid O'Connor, again, he just eases his way across the halfway line. Doesn't seem to be even trying. Long ball in towards the edge of the D. Killian's after it. Killian is fouled. Mayo are turning the screw. We're told that Dublin are a big team in the third quarter. Mayo have come out of the blocks with all guns blazing, and Killian O'Connor has just won a free. Thought about a quick one. Dublin had men back though, but the long and the short of it is, if Killian O'Connor pops this over, and he will, it's a 1-point game. Listen to the crowd again. That's the sound of Mayo, Mayo ringing around Croke Park. Bridesmaids in 89, 96, 97, 04, 06, 12 and 13. This 2016 team feel their time has come. Killian O'Connor with the free. Killian O'Connor pops it over the bar. Game on, Billy, game on.
Yeah, game on, Mike. Yeah, just a great first few minutes, and that's really what we needed.
Tom Parsons on the ball for Mayo. Kick half blocked down, squirts through to Aidan O'Shea. Mayo need more from him. He breaks the line, bursts by McMahon, goes to ground, free in for a foul on O'Shea. Cillian O'Connor has been clotheslined in the follow-up. Now, it's a free for the foul on O'Shea, but Cillian O'Connor got taken out as well. And now in comes Jason Doherty. He didn't like that challenge one little bit. O'Shea is up, Cillian O'Connor is still down. Dr. Sean Moffat's in to attend to him. But the All-Ireland champions, Dublin here, are in a game for the first time in a long time. They haven't been put under this sort of pressure in a long, long time. And let's be frank, if it wasn't for the big leg up from those two own goals, well then Dublin would be in trouble. And that's very high from McCauley.
That's a red card, Mike.
And it came after the fact. It came after the free. Now, this is interesting. The linesman on the far side, who's Maurice Deegan, is telling Conor Lane about the McCauley incident, and McCauley is being called in. Now, Dublin have already lost James McCarthy to a black card, and Michael Darragh McCauley is being spoken to by the referee. Now, what action will he take? That is the question. McCauley is arguing his case, pleading his case. Andy Moran has the ball in his hand, getting ready to take the free. Cillian O'Connor is still being checked by the doctor. 10 minutes into the second half. Dublin lead by 1. Yellow for McCauley. Booked. Lucky boy.
Very lucky boy. I mean, around the neck. And I just hope Cillian O'Connor is all right. Oh, Andy is going to take the free, but I just hope Cillian is all right after that. I mean, he's coming up. I think he is. He's going to take the ball off Andy, but yeah, McCauley's lucky there.
Cillian O'Connor will slot this, I would imagine. If and when he does, it will be 5 points without reply at the start of this second half for Mayo, and we will be level in the All-Ireland final. We will be back to square one, and then in the last 25 minutes, it will be a case of may the best team win. Cillian O'Connor slots the free over the bar, and now we've got a game on. We're 15 minutes almost into the second half, and it is fast and furious, all square. They couldn't be any closer. Dublin have it. They sprinted out towards the Mayo 45. Now they've had to slow down though. Mayo have got the barriers up. McCauley, Mannion, this is rock. What a build-up. And Clark goes over his line. David Clark, man who played and lost the 06 final 10 years ago, somehow got up over the crossbar to grab that, to take it down and to get it away from danger. Is the tide starting to turn?
It's starting to turn, Mike. Dublin look rattled. Oh!
Diarmuid O'Connor waited for the ball to come to him. He just seemed to be caught in no man's land, and it was John Small who came racing by to take it back. You just can't switch off today. Bernard Brogan to Brian Fenton. So much time, so much space, and Brian Fenton sweeps it high and over the bar, and Dublin lead again. Wherever you are around the world, let me tell you, Mayo are giving this everything they have. Mannion sprinting down the field. Mannion steadies. Mannion shoots. Diarmuid O'Connor, what a block. Ball comes to McCauley though. McCauley to Andrews. He jinks, he jives. Back out to the back door to Dean Rock. Rock steadies. Rock shoots. And Dean Rock with a spectacular score. High and over the bar and into the hill. Mayo are testing the mettle of the All-Ireland champions Dublin. And Dublin this time come up with the answer. 2 in a row for Dublin. Dublin 2-6, Mayo 10 points. Alan Dillon is getting ready. Poor ball from Paddy Durkin into the D. Nobody at home in the Mayo attack there to make it stick. And Kilkenny, who's getting on some amount of ball, is there, but it's a poor hand pass. Keegan dives in. Connolly, Boyle just threw himself through the air to hit Connolly. Now comes Vaughan. That was something else. Mayo men just propelling themselves to the air like missiles. It was Keegan, it was Vaughan, it was Boyle, and somehow they've got the ball back. Jason Doherty sells one dummy and another. Man inside is Andy. Andy for the goal. Oh, just wide. It's over the bar. Handy Andy Moran in around the back. We were all wishing it and willing it into the back of the net, and it flies over the bar. It's a 1-point game, and Andy Moran looks to the heavens. He has scored 2 big goals in All-Ireland semi-finals and finals against Dublin in the past. It was very nearly number 3.
Oh, very nearly number 3. Brilliant play by Jason Doherty. Weaved his way through the Dublin defence.
Will they put in a big 10 minutes here and blow Mayo out of the water? Right now, it's hard to see where it's going to come from. That's a loose pass. A loose pass by McMahon. One back by McLaughlin. This could be Mayo's chance. Andy has it. Diarmuid wants it. Diarmuid O'Connor inside to Dillon. The 2 boys from the Tubber link. Dillon steady.
Come on!
Dillon shoots. It's high. It's over the bar. We're level again. Hang on tight. This is going the distance. Dublin 2-6. Mayo 12 points. It was beautiful to watch. Mayo in full flight. John Small comes charging off Mannion's shoulder. Aidan O'Shea can't stop him. John Small cuts through. John Small, head down, shoots it high and over the bar. Dublin go back in front. And it's John Small from Ballymun-Kickham's, the man who's filling the jersey, filling the boots of Footballer of the Year, Jack McCaffrey, who kicks Dublin in front with 4.5 to go. And that's the cue for Big Bird, Big Barry Moran, to come flying in from the Mayo dugout. And it's Alan Dillon, who came in a little earlier, but who was injured. I think he was tackled earlier. Or injured earlier in a collision with Cian O'Sullivan. Big Barry is going straight into full forward, and Philly McMahon is there to welcome him to the All-Ireland final, welcome him to the edge of the square. Stephen Cohen will be coming in any moment now as well.
Important to get possession now and try and get the ball into Barrymoran.
Diarmuid O'Connor has been taken out. He has got nothing left. He's run himself into the ground. Stephen Cohen is in for Mayo. Dublin have the ball. O'Gara to Rock. There's a foul on O'Gara. No advantage for Dublin. Free in. And a chance for Dean Rock to kick Dublin into a 2-point lead in the 68th minute. It's as simple as that. Well, wherever you are right now around the world, if you've got Mayo blood in your veins, take a moment, take a breath. We've got about 5 minutes to go in the All-Ireland final, and it's like this. Dublin, the champions, are 1 point up, 2-7-12, courtesy of those 2 own goals from Mayo in the first half. If Dean Rock kicks this, Mayo have to find 2 points from somewhere to level the game or get a goal to win it. Rock, out of his hands. He's been off colour all day. Rock, nerves of steel when the chips are down, bends it in and high and over the bar. Dean Rock gets Dublin's 4th point of the second half. And it means, as we tick into the 69th minute, Dublin lead by 2. Short kick out from Mayo. One back by Dublin. One back by Connolly. And Diarmuid Connolly hammers it high and over the bar. Is that the nail, the final nail in the Mayo coffin? It's as simple as this. Mayo need to find 3 points to level or a goal to draw it as well. Clark's kick out to the other corner this time puts Higgins under pressure. He's got the decision. He's got the line ball. Well, the kick out went wrong. It quite obviously went wrong. The first one, and Connolly scored. Now Mayo break. If they get a goal, all bets are off. Parsons way over to the far corner. Still time for Mayo to clip off 3 points, but they need to get motoring. Andy has it. Inside to Killian. Killian makes an angle. Round one defender. Killian shoots high and over the bar. Won't count. Call back for a free in. Killian knows time is of the essence. Runs to get the spare size 5. 68.5 minutes gone. Dublin 2-9. Mayo 12 points. 11 scores to 12. But it's those 2 freak goals that are currently weighing around Mayo's neck like millstones. Cillian O'Connor with the free. Cillian O'Connor out of his hands and over the bar. And Mayo still believe. 2 between the teams. 1 minute of normal time left. And if Mayo are going to get out of here with something, John Casey, they are going to do it the hard way and put the rest of us through the ringer.
Absolutely. David Clark there, a couple of uncharacteristic kickouts there. I know you were taking notes there. Hit the back out, didn't give a pretty dodgy enough pass as opposed to Keith Higgins. You know, Dublin getting 2 scores as a direct result of it, but they've responded in kind now. Only 2 in it, Mike. Time nearly up.
Great pressure by Stephen Cohen. Stephen Rochford is running instruction to Aidan O'Shea. I think he wants him to go long to the edge of the square, into the big bird Barry. Aidan O'Shea, who works with Barry Moore, fires it in on top of him. Up they go. Up go the hands. Johnny Cooper takes it down. Dublin the champions now. They're backs to the wall. They lead by 2. Lovely flick by Connolly to get it away from danger out towards Brian Fenton. We're kicking towards injury time. We haven't been told yet how much of it we'll have. Dublin need to play keep ball. Mayo need to get it back. We're going to have 7 minutes of injury time. Well, you may as well make yourself a stiff drink or a cup of tea. We're going to be here for a while yet. 7 minutes of injury time. That's why the Mayo crowd are cheering to the rafters. They know this is got a lot of twists and turns left yet. Aidan has it. Aidan O'Shea down the line to Donny Vaughan. Donny Vaughan. Donny shoes. Cuts in. Steadies. Vaughan shoots. And Vaughan scores.
Oh, good God.
They will not show the white feather. Donny Vaughan up the line and over the bar. And still Mayo hang on in there. Back to a point again. Evan Regan is fired into the game. 1 minute into stoppage time. 6 to play. Dublin 2-9. Mayo 14 points. Come at the hour. Come at Donny Vaughan. There's a lovely sign up in Abbey Street in Ballinrobe from his neighbours, wishing the best luck to Donny and to Stephen Rochford from the Ballinrobe Rugby Club and from the Abbey Street neighbours. A county behind him as Vaughan swept up the field and fired it over. It's back to a 1 point game, John Casey. And can you believe 7 minutes of injury time as Andy Moran, the legend that is Andy Moran, is called ashore. And now Evan Regan comes into the match. John Casey, anything could happen yet.
Anything, Mike. I'm starting to get more nervous than I've ever been in my life. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, people were questioning, the heart Donald Vaughan has, Mike. There are 2 points today. I mean, he's getting up and down the field, but there's still plenty of time left. And I mean, Mayo are still pushing up full court press on this Dublin defence.
He's a great man for the stake and water, is Donny Vaughan, and it is standing him in good stead as well in these closing stages. Dublin go short, and they've been tied up and wrapped up, and it's a free to the Dubs. Well, it's been a long time. Dublin, remember, 27 games unbeaten. They are on the ropes now. They're trying to duck and dive the punches. They're trying to stay out of trouble, and they're trying to hang on to a 1-point lead as the Dublin substitute over there. It's Darren Daly gets tied up with Donny Vaughan. Johnny Cooper patched up. Away we go again. We're in the 72nd minute. 5 minutes of injury time still to play. If you're of a nervous disposition, I'd probably advise you to go for a walk, step outside for a bit of fresh air. This is not good for the heart. Dublin go short with the free. They really do complicate things. Mayo again push up. Mayo's intensity levels are off the chart today. Parsons just can't get enough contact. Barry Moore is firing himself about as well. All 6'6" and 13 or 14 stone. And eventually Dublin get the free. And still the Mayo crowd chant Mayo, Mayo. They will not be found wanting today. In the past, we've said the crowd have gone quiet when the chips were down. Not today. Stephen Cohen can't stop the Dublin man. It's Darren Daly. Cillian O'Connor can. Cillian O'Connor takes one for the team. Fouls Darren Daly just inside the Dublin half. John, Dublin are literally trying to hang on to a 1-point lead.
Hanging on, Mike. And did you ever see them panicking as much? None of them want the ball. I was just watching some of the players off the ball. Keane O'Sullivan was coming up here in front of us. Every single one of them was saying, not me, not me, not me. Such is the intensity that Mayo have brought to this game.
Mayo against Dublin in an All-Ireland final for the second time in 4 seasons. An 8th final for Mayo since '89. Can they find a score or two from somewhere to get over the line, to get it done once and for all? They need one now to get back on level terms as Dublin play keep ball. Johnny Cooper to Kieran Kilkenny. He's gone past Durcan and McLaughlin. Kilkenny lays it off to Rock. Rock sells the dummy, bought by Barrett. Now it's O'Gara. He's like a bull in a china shop. Shoots off balance. Doesn't make good contact, and the shot dribbles away to the left and wide. Well, for one awful moment there, it looked like Dublin were in. But somehow Mayo managed to scramble the defence to get back and put the pressure on, and the ball goes wide. Jim Gavin is making another change. Paul Flynn is being taken off, and into the Dublin team comes Dennis Bastick. One more score is all Mayo need to level this game. And at the very worst, perhaps we get another day out. Short kick out from Clark. Mayo keep possession of the ball at all costs. Parsons to Higgins. Higgins to Harrison. Harrison to Higgins, and now Parsons again. Tom P from Charlestown is wrapped up, ball taken off him from behind. It was Connolly, but he was pulling and he was dragging and he had a hold of the jersey, and Mayo get the free. Aidan O'Shea, big Aido, ambling out towards the played here for the first time as a minor 8 years ago. He was a big teenager. He's an even bigger adult. Jay still rumbling down towards the 45. Ado lets fly. It's headed for the corner flag. It wasn't the right call. Barry Moore has not going to get there. And I think that was sheer fatigue from Aidan O'Shea. Tony McEntee comes in to try and give him a few words of advice. It just wasn't the right option. 2 minutes to go. Aidan O'Shea glances up at the clock with a little grimace. He knows it. Rochford knows it. Mayo needed to keep that ball alive.
They need to keep the ball. It was a really difficult shot to take on, Mike. I mean, tired legs, 5 metres out, with no forward momentum. But he knew after he let fly, Mike, it wasn't the right decision.
2 minutes left. Dublin have the ball. John Small fires it to Fitzsimons. Now Mannion. Dublin will try to run down the clock or release a shooter. O'Gara just barrels into Evan Regan and keeps on going. That's off the ball, by the way. Mannion back as far as Kilkenny. He certainly is my man of the match. Some game, a horse of a man. Kilkenny gets it, gives it, and takes it again. Whatever he's been doing up in Donegal and the Gaeltacht these last few weeks, it has certainly worked. Kilkenny tackled from behind by Durcan. Ball runs free to Andrews. We're heading towards the final minute. Mayo have to get the ball back. McLaughlin comes in to knock it out over the line. Line ball to Dublin. Dublin 2-9, Mayo 14 points. Mayo standing tall and standing proud. Came back from 5 points down at half-time to go level. but crucially couldn't get their noses in front. And will those couple of points midway through the second half from Brian Fenton and Dean Rock turn out to be the game changers, the game breakers? Stephen Rochford knows he can do very little more now. Sean Carey is heading to Vinnie Neary. There's one more slip to be written. We're into the last minute of injury time. Connolly knocks it in around the house, in towards the back post, in towards the back stick, in towards Rock, high and wide. This is surely Mayo's last chance. Clark wants to take the quick kick out. O'Gara tries to stop him. Clark hits it to the far corner, to Keith Higgins. Mayo simply have to keep the ball alive, have to find a shooter. Stephen Cohen gives it to Tom Parsons. Parsons driving down the middle of the field. Cillian O'Connor to Aidan O'Shea. The two big guns combine. O'Shea back to Cillian. Cillian with one swing. Cillian shoots. On and high. It's over. Mayo shall not be moved today. Cillian O'Connor with a wonderful point. We are level. The time is up. And it looks like we're going to have to do it all over again one more time with feeling. They couldn't be separated last August in the semi-final, the first day out. It looks like we will have a replay of the final this time round. There's been a collision, a clash of heads between, is it Evan Regan and the Dublin substitute? That's Dennis Bastick from the short kick out. And Evan Regan is down. Meanwhile, there's a bit of pushing and shoving
Billy
going on.
McMahon boxed Cillian O'Connor in the jaw, Mike, off the ball there. Just caught it, and Barry Moore saw exception to it. But it was unbelievable. It was an awful risky kick out that Crookston took. And I mean, he put his corner back under serious pressure, Mike. And Evan Regan is in a bad way after that.
That score from Cillian O'Connor is as good as any he's ever kicked.
Time actually up.
Gone.
We're into the 8th minute of injury time.
Tickets again, Mike, in 2 weeks.
Evan Regan's in trouble.
He is, yeah.
He collided there, a clash of heads with Bastick. Now, I didn't see the McMahon-Killian incident. I'm not sure if Joe McQuillan, the linesman, did. But they are deadlocked. Dublin 2-9, Mayo 15 points. We're into the 9th minute of injury time. Evan Regan is on the flat of his back and not being moved. Conor Lane is calling for a stretcher. Now, will we have time for one more play? Well, they've had some famous draws over the years. 85, of course, the semi-final ended in a draw. Dublin won the replay. Last year in the semi-final, a draw game thanks to Andy Moran's late point. Dublin won the replay. If they do finish level, whenever Conor Lane calls time here, as far as I'm aware, it's 2 weeks' time. We'll be doing it all over again. But Cillian O'Connor, what a great bit of stuff he is, Cillian O'Connor from Ballintubber. He's a young man. He's only 24 years of age. And he took on that shot and he fired it over. Game restarts. Evan Regan's left the field. We're into the 9th minute of injury time.
It's over, Mike.
It's all over. We won't have a winner today. We're going to have to go through the ringer one more time. What a finish from Mayo. They dig it out once again, thanks to late points. A free from Cillian O'Connor, a point from play from Donny Vaughan, and a late last gasp. Brilliant score from Cillian again. Handshakes all round. Stephen Rochford and Jim Gavin handshake and walk away. Both teams still left standing.